This episode is brought to you by Buy My Stuff on eBay. Yes, you too can buy my stuff from eBay. Simply search for the seller, Tin Dog Podcast, and you can own some rare and collectible items. From the same people who brought you Buy My Books on Amazon. Check the show notes for a direct link.
Scanning for audio.
Hello and welcome to a Tin Dog Podcast. More Doctor Who reviews. What am I thinking? I'm spoiling you. I am. Because let's face it, we're a bit thin on the ground and we're almost in the last couple of weeks of November. And if there is going to be an announcement about new or missing Doctor Who's or some future or even a release date for the war between, you know what I mean, all that business, it'll happen in the next couple of weeks. Logically. But of course that's the logic of a Doctor Who fan, and as we know, the logic of a Doctor Who fan is a strange and pointless creature. So, 1.3, this is the third of the 13th Doctor releases, The Lioness in Winter by Lisa McMullen. Lisa's always done some sterling work. And this is not an exception at all. Okay, quick synopsis and then we'll have a chat, avoiding any form of spoilers as always. England, 1183. The court of Henry II. The Doctor and Yaz gatecrash a right royal, if terrifyingly dysfunctional, family Christmas as Henry's estranged wife Eleanor returns to spend Yuletide with the fam. I'm sorry, that's what it says here. The Doctor and Yaz uncover an imposter amongst them, but who are they really, and what do they want? Everyone likes a Christmas ghost story, and that's what this is. It's specifically set at Christmas, I'll grant you that. But the reality is that it's not really that much of a Christmas story. It's more of a winter's tale, although it's obviously not made based on a winter's tale. You've got a magic mirror, it feels a bit Harry Potter-y. You've got a crack. You've got strange ghostly goings-on. You've also got, and let's face it, this is the pinnacle of pseudo-historical. And for those of you not keeping up, a pseudo-historical is a largely historical story. That's the background and the characters and the costumes and everything. And beyond that, you've got some sort of malign alien or extra influence. Okay, that's a pseudo-historical. Pure historical is something like the Romans, where you've got some Romans. You've got a historical event. That was mostly the realm of the first Doctor. Whether the Mythmakers fits into historical or pseudo-historical, well, you can get back to it. We'll have a big argument about that if that's one of the stories that's been found. Okay, so here's the chat bit. Thoroughly enjoyable story. I never really got the 13th Doctor. I understood it on many levels on TV. There are bits of their time, including that thing they did last. I don't even want to think about it. Yes, I know I've got issues with it being the Doctor being the timeless child, right? And that's the sort of scar that won't go away. But this is pure Doctor Who. This is the romp of Doctor Who. This is the fun aspect. This is the Doctor that was in front of me all the time that I just didn't see, that I wasn't paying attention to. Yes, you know my feelings. I was never 100% taken with this Doctor. But the performances are always marvellous. Characterisation's great. And you know what? The longer Jodie spends with us on audio, the less like... See, on TV, she felt like she was just channeling Tennant. She was just doing an impersonation. And she's not. Well, she's definitely not doing that here. She's playing for her own doctor. She's letting her own doctor breathe, which is odd because this doctor hits the ground at 1,000 miles an hour and just delivers, which is why we mistook her for someone doing an impression of Tennant. No, it's different. It's atmospheric. The music used is very good. Soundscape-wise, very, very nice. There's a couple of sort of excited chords going on all the way through that make you go, okay, I guess what we're doing. But we're not being manipulated by the music. Obviously we are. But we don't feel it, which is the real trick. I mean, let's face it, you're always manipulated by the music. That's the reason it's there. But feeling that you're being shouted at by the music, which is what's been going on TV Doctor Who of late, well, for the last 20 years, yeah, we can see you, all of you, is not as good as this. Performance-wise, of course it's great. And it's really genuinely atmospheric. It would be one of the spookier of stories if we hadn't just had the Halloween box set, which for me was still absolutely brilliant. So it's another great trip down memory lane. You've got ghost princes, you've got the characters who, well, I have to at this point mention that you've got Richard III as a character, so then you've got the whole Lionheart thing, and I get it. And there is apparently a stage play that concentrates mainly on the king and the princes and things like that. But this is very Eleanor of Aquitaine focused. And yes, the whole family was at each other's throats. It would have been a time of civil war, but this was a civil war where everyone followed the rule of the ruling class, which, you know what? Let's leave history to one side for a tiny bit, because you don't need to hear me ramble about that. You know, you can take the boy out of the Royal Armouries, but you can't take the Royal Armouries out of the boy, which is why I worked for several years. Okay, so what we've got is a really, really great historical story, but we've also got it family focused, and that is what this Doctor does well. We can only see that with retrospect. At the time, Doctor Who's just happening at you, and you have to look back on it to go, right, some of the major themes of this Doctor's time was family, was the relationship. All right, you've got recurring themes, like the same sort of thing you used to get. It's like, oh, we've got the companion falling for the Doctor theme. Well, that's occurred several times in modern Who. Who, why did I say it like that? Don't know. Moving on. But we've got new themes that are very Doctor specific. And you only see those afterwards. Obviously, they were there in the performance and in the writing. But afterwards, that's what tells each Doctor apart, and that lets you see it. And that's definitely something that is at the fore in this story. So seriously, well done across the board. It's great, it's very well done, and it is helping me with my rehabilitation. No, it's not even rehabilitation. It's bringing me round to the 13th Doctor as a decent, good Doctor, because at the time, I didn't truly feel it. And you know what? Not all Doctor Who's for you, that's fine. I'm an old man now. It's not supposed to be for me. But these stories bringing me back into the fold, and that can't be a bad thing. They're well worth a try. Until next time, here's the trailer and decide for yourself. Be seeing you.
Welcome, Queen Eleanor, returned from exile.
Henry, there's a blonde woman sitting on your throne.
Hello! Or is it good morrow?
From Big Finish Productions, the 13th Doctor Adventures, Lionesses in Winter.
Thou little tiny child, let me in.
The ground's cracking open! Not just the ground, but the castle walls! Is it an earthquake?
Worse, it's a quantum quake! Run!
Oh, the crack in the mirror is bigger!
I am fading.
Don't let go! You shouldn't have been able to cross between universes.
Please help me.
I'm trying! You have to return to your own universe!
You can't make him go back there.
Well, Look what the cat dragged in.
I can feel something pulling from it, like suction.
Dear Lord!
I need a form.
Can I help?
I will take yours.
Doctor!
Big finish for the love of stories.
It's not the ending that counts. It's the story you tell along the way. You would say that. You hate endings.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. All topics discussed are the intellectual property of the copyright owners. No infringement is intended. Why not follow the show on Blue Sky at tindogpodcast.bsky.social. If you've enjoyed this podcast on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.